Welcome to another video designed to level up your professional English skills. Today, we're diving into 150 advanced business phrases that will help you sound more polished and confident at work. Whether you're writing an email, negotiating a deal, or presenting in a meeting, these phrases will make you stand out. Stay till the end for a fun challenge where you can test yourself. Ready? Let's jump in.
Phrases for meetings. 30 phrases. Let's table this discussion for now. Can we circle back to this later? I'd like to weigh in on that point. Let's align on our priorities. Can we take this offline? I'd like to echo what Name just mentioned. That's a valid concern. Let's drill down into the specifics. Can we consolidate our thoughts on this? I want to flag a potential issue. Let's park that idea for the time being. How does this align with our objectives? Let's ensure we're all on the same page. What's the key takeaway from this discussion? Can you elaborate on that point? Let's brainstorm potential solutions. How does this impact the bigger picture? Let's prioritize actionable items. That's outside the scope of today's meeting. Can we establish a timeline for this? Let's address any outstanding issues. How does this align with stakeholder expectations? Let's revisit this topic in our next meeting. Can we identify potential roadblocks? What's the root cause of this problem? I'd like to get everyone's input on this. How can we mitigate potential risks? Let's wrap up with a summary of next steps. Does this approach resonate with everyone? Let's finalize our action plan before we adjourn.
Phrases for emails. 30 phrases. I hope this email finds you well. Please find attached the requested documents. Could you kindly confirm receipt of this email? I wanted to follow up on our previous conversation. As per our discussion, I've outlined the key points below. Please let me know if you require any further information. I'd appreciate your prompt response. I'm writing to seek clarification on. Could you provide an update on the status of? Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'd like to propose a meeting to discuss this further. I'd like to draw your attention to. If you have any concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll follow up with you early next week. Thank you for your time and consideration. Please note the updated timeline for this project. Let me know if this works for you. I wanted to keep you in the loop regarding. I'm writing to formally request. Kindly review the attached file and provide your feedback. I wanted to clarify some points before proceeding. Could you confirm your availability for the proposed meeting time? I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this matter. Thank you for your valuable input. Please advise on the next steps. I'd like to highlight a potential issue that requires attention. I'd appreciate it if you could expedite this request. Just a quick note to remind you about. I've copied Name in this email for their input. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation.
Phrases for negotiations. 30 phrases. Let's find a mutually beneficial solution. We're open to exploring other options. Can we agree on a middle ground here? I'd like to propose a counteroffer. What are your non-negotiables in this agreement? Let's revisit the terms of this agreement. We'd like to discuss potential adjustments to the pricing. How can we add value to this proposal? That's a fair point. Let's see how we can address it. What concessions are you willing to make? Let's aim for a win-win outcome. Could you clarify your position on this matter? We'd prefer a long-term partnership over short-term gains. Let's discuss how we can align our goals. Could you provide some flexibility on the delivery timeline? We're committed to finding a solution that works for both parties. Let's weigh the pros and cons of this approach. How does this align with your expectations? We'd like to avoid any misunderstandings moving forward. Let's ensure that the terms are crystal clear. Can we revisit this point during the next round of discussions? We're confident this adjustment will benefit both sides. How do you see this fitting into the broader scope of your needs? What would make this agreement more appealing to you? Let's focus on the areas where we have common ground. Can we explore alternative solutions to this issue? We value your input and want to accommodate your concerns. How can we move forward on this in a timely manner? Let's take some time to reflect on these points before proceeding. We're optimistic about reaching an agreement.
Phrases for presentations, 30 phrases. Let me walk you through the key points. What I'd like to emphasize here is, to summarize our discussion, let's dive into the details. The objective of this presentation is, this slide highlights the core aspects of our strategy. Let's take a closer look at the data. To illustrate this point, here's an example. Let's revisit the goals we outlined at the beginning. I'd like to call your attention to this chart. Based on our analysis, we recommend the following. To put this into perspective, what's important to note here is, this brings us to the next section. Let's briefly recap what we've covered so far. This approach allows us to maximize efficiency. Before we move on, are there any questions? Let's focus on the benefits of this proposal. This data underscores the importance of. In conclusion, I'd like to reiterate, let's explore the potential challenges of this strategy. I'd like to open the floor for discussion. This marks a pivotal point in our project. Let me illustrate this concept further. With that in mind, let's proceed to the next point. Let's address any concerns you might have. To tie everything together, here's our final takeaway. This proposal is a game changer for our team. Let's wrap this up with a quick summary. Thank you for your attention and engagement.
Phrases with advanced phrasal verbs, 30 phrases. Let's map out a plan for this initiative. We need to wrap up this project by Friday. He brought up a valid concern during the meeting. Let's break down this issue into smaller parts. Can you follow up with the client on this matter? Let's set up a call to discuss this further. We need to come up with a creative solution. She's been working hard to pull off this event. Let's roll out the new policy next month. Can you run through the proposal one more time? We need to iron out the details before finalising. Let's touch base after the presentation. He's trying to figure out a workaround. Let's kick off the project with a team meeting. We need to look into this issue more deeply. She's been putting together a comprehensive report. Let's jot down key points during the meeting. We need to call off tomorrow's meeting due to scheduling conflicts. He's working on narrowing down the options. Let's sum up our discussion before we move on. We'll back up your idea with data. Let's follow through on the agreed actions. We're trying to sort out the logistics for the event. Let's check in with the team for updates. We'll hand over the project once it's complete. Can you take over this task temporarily? We'll hold off on making a decision until next week. Let's team up to tackle this challenge. He's wrapping up the final edits. Let's draw up a contract for this partnership.